Three things I learned from this episode. Ty, you're extremely messy. Ming, you're very insecure. The jealousy is not good. And Evelyn, if Jennifer Williams didn't exist, what would you talk about?
Welcome to the Asia Esterak Hour, where film meets conspiracy and pop culture gets a reality check. From sharp recaps to sci-fi theories and media deep dives, Asia Esterak serves it unfiltered. Let the binge begin.
All right, welcome back to the Asia Esterak Hour. I am Asia Esterak. All right, Basketball Wives season 12. I got my episode numbers wrong last week. This is episode 4. All right, so Jennifer and Christian are having a lunch with his family, his aunt, uncle, and cousin. Interesting scene. They talked about Evelyn and the shots that she was throwing online against Christian. So Christian's aunt, very interesting lady, and I believe we met her last season because she looked very familiar. Very familiar. This lady was very hyped. Going in on Evelyn, basically saying no one talks about her nephew or Jen since they're, her family. His cousin, I guess, was there too. He ended up tweeting at Evelyn talking about what's up with all the subliminals. He had a point, Evelyn is taking, subliminal shots at Jennifer online, but not directly addressing her. Really silly behavior, to be honest. Really silly. What was wild though is so Christian's aunt was very, very hyped, very upset, and seemed like, basically was like, I will handle Evelyn. I forget what she said. When they walked out, they closed the scene. Very, very aggressive, hilarious. She seemed like she was putting on for the camera a little bit, but then I don't know this lady in real life. For all we know, this is how she feels when people talk about her family members. So, I get it. If somebody went like that at my sister's, I'd fuck them up. Just saying. And I will say this. I always have to remind myself that Jennifer Williams, both of her parents are deceased. I think her dad is deceased, right? I don't know. But from my understanding, she's alone and she's the only child. So this is her family. And like she said, this is my family now. So I guess it's nice to have that type of support. But I don't know, Christian's aunt seemed a lot. And I feel like going back and forth with Evelyn online just seems superfluous. What's the point of that? Let her do all the talking because she ain't got shit going on. So at that same time that they're having their little thing, there's a scene over at, I guess, Evelyn's house. I don't know whose house it was, child. I think it was Evelyn's. It was Evelyn, Brittany, the new girl, Denise. Why is she here? That new girl, Denise, why are you here? Sidebar. I know that she hasn't given us a lot to work with, but I don't understand why she's here. I'm just so tired of, this is the ex-girlfriend of, or the ex, can we get some legitimate basketball wives? The only basketball wives on this current show are technically Brandee, because she's still married. Her husband, I think, is retired now. Chantel and Jackie Christie. That's it. It still blows my mind that whenever Jennifer is first on the scene, they still have her ex-husband's name. That's ridiculous. But anyway, I just noticed that. So anyway, Brandee, Brittany Renner, Denise, and Evelyn are all chatting. They're laughing about, Brandee brings up the fact that Evelyn went back and told Ty that Brandee thought she was cute. And of course, it got back to Ming. They were all laughing about that. Brandee invites them. Brandee's going to Vegas for Jennifer's wedding. Because Jennifer did end up inviting her at the end of the last episode. Jennifer also later invites Jackie and Ming on FaceTime to invite them as well. So Brandee's like, since we're going to Vegas, and it happens to be Evelyn's birthday weekend, why don't you guys all come up and we'll celebrate your birthday out there. Evelyn laughs at the fact that Jennifer and them are getting married on her birthday. Evelyn, I'm sure she forgot it was your birthday. I don't think she went out of her way to get married on your fucking birthday. You're not that fucking interesting. Girl, like, get a storyline. You ain't had a storyline in a minute. Get one. So, they all agree to go to Vegas. Ming and Ty meet up at this beach to chat. I like you, Ming Lee, but I'm starting to see how you could probably be the possible problem in your relationships. Ty, same with you. So they meet basically to talk about Brandee. Ming, you are so pressed over a straight woman saying that your ex-girlfriend was cute. It's obvious that her real issue is with Ty. She made it apparent from episode 1, they have trust issues. She pretty much reiterates it. We're on the 4th episode. She's reiterated it every single episode. But here's what kills me. Ty, you knew what you were doing. You went back and told Ming, and Ming called your ass out on it, about Brandee being cute, saying that you was cute. You were doing that to stir up some drama, which later, doesn't turn out well when they actually get to Vegas later. And I'm sure it'll continue in the next week. But, I didn't understand that. Ming, it seems like you have a lot of trust issues with Ty, and you seem insecure. And I don't know if the insecurity comes from the relationship with Ty or other things, but you having all this energy and negativity, this negative energy towards Brandee to me is not merited. Because now you're bringing up, you said that she talked about your makeup. Okay. Which we later find out wasn't exactly the case. I'll get to that in a little bit. But this scene just was very messy. Very, very messy. But whatever. So the ladies meet up to get on these Sprinter vans. Sprinter vans are the fucking thing on reality. I've never been on a Sprinter van in my life. Maybe I need to get on one. I don't know. So they all meet up to ride to Vegas. There's 2 Sprinter vans. Okay. So, this is Brandee's trip. So it's Brandee and Ty, and I can't remember the other 2 other people are in one van. And then, no, it's Brandee, Ty, Jackie, and I think Chantel in one van. Not Chantel, I'm sorry. Chantel flew to Vegas before. I'm fucking this up. Sorry, y'all. And in the other van is Ming, Brittany, Denise, and I forget who the other person was. Oh, Evelyn. So, of course, Ming is she points out the fact that it's interesting that Brandee separated them. Why is she riding in the other van? Yeah, that was a little weird. That could have been production behind closed doors for all we know. But it's the fact that she talked about it the entire ride there. The van with Ty and Jackie and Brandee and I cannot remember who that other person was. They were having a blast, drinking, having a good time. They kind of called Ty out for being messy. Ty's like, I'm not being messy. I was just, yeah, you were. Yes, you were. Yeah, you were. You want to be desired. It probably gives you a rise to have 2 bitches fighting over you. And it's really just one because Brandee don't even like you like that. She just thinks you're cute. Okay. So we get to Vegas. They get to the house. The house is cute. There's this little back and forth banter, tit for tat type of energy between Brandee and Ming from minute 1. It starts off in the kitchen with actually, no, before that, before we get to that, I'm doing too much. So they get to the house. Their banter is already off. Then it's time to pick the rooms. The ladies pick the rooms. Hilarious. Turns out Brandee and Ming get rooms right next to each other with a conjoined. They're sharing a bathroom, which is hilarious. So they all make fun of that. They have no privacy because you can hear everything going on in the other person's room. Even more so if the doors are open. The bathroom doors are open. So anyway, so they're all in the kitchen trying to figure out who's going to eat or what they're going to cook for dinner. Ming is talking about cooking. Brandee's talking about cooking. Ming is kind of taking... So they're trying to figure out what to cook. And Brandee's like, I'll cook. And Ming's like, well, I'll oversee. And she's like, girl, I don't need you to oversee me. So they start talking about spices. And Brandee's like, well, I didn't bring any. And Ming is like, well, yeah, I made sure Ty brought the one spice. And she looks at Ty, just in case Brandee might need it so it'll taste good. Like throwing a jab. She laughs. Ty is up there laughing and kikiing with her. So Brandee turns around because she's standing in front of the refrigerator and she's like, what do you mean by that? And she takes offense because, she's got her cookbook and she has a whole spice line coming out. So she's like, are you trying to say that I can't cook because you're attacking my business? So they start going back and forth at that. I understood what Brandee was saying because here's the reality. Ming has been taking a little poking Brandee and Brandee felt some type of way. Totally understood that. Ming, you can dish it, but you can't take it. You really can't. You talk a good game, but I don't think you can take it. And I don't think you could take Brandee either. Just saying. So they're continuing to go back and forth about that. That heats up a little bit, then that dissipates. They go to their rooms and actually, hold on. The scene before that, before we get back to them going to their rooms, Jennifer and Christian are in Vegas. They end up going and actually getting their marriage certificate and getting married on the technical side. That was cute. So they're riding back and Jennifer's talking about everybody that's coming and she mentions Brandee and Christian's like, wait, what? Why is she coming? And his whole thing is, I don't want anybody there that's not supporting us. I 1000% agree with that. I'm not going to have a hater at my shit. Fuck that, And he's like, I just feel like she was on Evelyn's side. And Jennifer's like, I understand. He didn't like it. He wasn't feeling Jennifer's explanation for Brandee. So the way he concluded that, he was like, well, if this was the Paris party, then I would feel some type of way. But since it's the fun party and we're here, it's okay. So he lets it go. Let me say this. I've talked a lot of shit about Jennifer and Christian's relationship. I do think there's problems there, but I'll say this. Jennifer seems very happy, and that makes me happy. So, and she seems very much in love. I don't know Christian well enough, and I find him very hard to read to know if he's genuine or not. He gives me con man energy up the wazoo. But Jennifer seems genuinely in love, and she seems happy. And I know that she's been searching for that since her mom passed. And I'm happy for her. I wish her well. I hope that all this shit with Christian, I hope it dissipates for her and they have a long, happy, healthy marriage. I really do. But I could see the other shoe falling. I hope I'm wrong, though. I really do. I hope I'm wrong. Sorry for the shaking. So anyway, so that concludes. We get back to the house. So before they get back to the rooms, while they're still in the kitchen, Brandee says they kind of make a joke. They joke a little bit about Jennifer getting married. And then, by the way, that's another thing. Evelyn, why the fuck are you so pressed about Jennifer? Well, she's not really married. Do you not know? If you're an American citizen and you get married in another country, it's not legal in America. So you have to get married again in America. Why is that? So my parents got married in another country. They have 2 anniversaries. They have my parents got married and had their honeymoon at the same time in Bora Bora on 4th of July, and then came back to the States and got married again on September 21st. What is the fucking problem? Evelyn, you're just mad because no one's wanted to marry you since Chad Ochocinco. You were notorious for being a fiance. And then you were a bride and that shit lasted a month. Girl, grow the fuck up. She's so irritating. You ain't got shit else to talk about but Jennifer Williams. Get a storyline. Get a life. Talk about your business. Talk about anything but Jennifer Williams. My God. So anyway, back to the kitchen. That shit irritated me. She just like, you literally ain't got shit else to talk about. It's annoying. So anyway, Brandee's like, just so you guys know, I did extend Jennifer an invitation to stop by and say hi. So they're all like, so Evelyn, of course, gets mad. She's not coming to my birthday weekend. Girl, you didn't even know it was your birthday weekend until Brandee came to your house and told you. So what are you talking about? So I understand where everybody else is coming from, but I also understand where Brandee's coming from. And we're watching a show. Y'all are working. This is a job. So of course she's going to show up. It's the same on Real Housewives when Angela invited Drew. It was dumb, but it's production. It's a part of the fucking show. Of course she's going to show up at some point, right? So of course they all are like annoyed about that. I understand where Brandee was coming from because she explained that she got a text from Jennifer when they were in the Sprinter van on the way up to Vegas. Jennifer was talking about how excited she was to see the ladies and, her, Jackie, and Ming at her wedding. Like, she was excited. Brandee had a moment of weakness because she was happy for her friend and felt like she didn't want to exclude her. So she invited her to the house. Jennifer wrote back, I'll think about it. So back to back into the kitchen. The ladies are annoyed. Brandy's like, whatever. So they go back into the rooms. And here's my thing with Ty. Because Ty, you fucking messy. So Ty isn't... Sorry, my cat just jumped on the table. Harriet, come on. Hold on. Let me get this cat. Okay, so they go back to their rooms. And Ty is in Brandy's room talking to her. And Ming overhears them talking. So she walks through the joined bathroom and pops her head in. Why are you over here? Why aren't you over in my room? So that starts some bullshit between her and Brandee. Here's my thing, Ming. It's obvious you have strong feelings for Ty because you wouldn't be acting like this if you did it. But here's my thing with that. Would you want to be with someone that brings that type of shit out of you? She's purposely playing with you. She brought back that information about Brandee saying that she was cute to you to get a rise out of you. You yourself pointed that out earlier in the episode when y'all were at the beach. So all this energy that you have towards Brandee is silly, which brings me back to... Actually, no, I'm jumping ahead. So eventually Ty leaves the room. They go back. Chantel goes into Ming's room. There's a few ladies in there. Ty's in there. Chantel... You might need to find some business too. So Chantel's like, I don't understand why Brandee invited Jennifer to Evelyn's birthday weekend. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. They were already talking about it out there. So you bring it back into the room to further, like, she invited her. Get the fuck over it. Yeah, it's weird, but like, get over it. Who cares? Why are you so concerned? It doesn't affect you. You don't have a problem with either one of these ladies. So Ming goes, yeah, I don't understand that. She goes, like, even when she said to me about the makeup, like she's giving like a backhanded compliment. Ming, you're slow and you don't seem like you're very intelligent. So they play that scene back. So Brandee comes in the room, first of all, and it's like, I can hear you guys. And she was like, you're really upset over some makeup. They go back to that scene where Ming was so upset. All Brandee said in that in the previous episode in the van to Ming's ass was, she's like, Ming says, I don't know how to do my own, I can't do my own makeup. And Brandy's like, oh, you don't know how to do it? No. She was, Brandy's like, I can do my own makeup. Ming was like, no, I mean, I might need to take a class or something. Brandee, all she says is, girl, you better use TikTok for free. That's all that she said. You took that as her making fun of you, talking about your makeup. You're extra and you just want to fight. So the reality is you're just mad because she said Ty was cute and now you feel some type of way. Girl, you're silly. You clearly have not, your emotional maturity has not reached past junior high. That's silly. So they continue to argue, go back and forth. And then at one point, Brandee is like, defending herself as she should, and she was. So Ming is over there on the bed as Brandee is literally proving her point, and she's doing this. What the fuck does you don't even know how to use shit correctly? Playing the violin means someone's feeling sorry for you. Brandee was literally retorting to what the fuck you said to her. I don't know about you, Ming girl. I don't know about you. I don't know about you. So anyway, back in the kitchen, Evelyn and Jackie are talking about Jennifer coming, and Evelyn's like, she better not come here. Da, 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 da. You're not going to do anything. What you going to do? All you going to do is yell. Like, you're so extra. You need Jennifer to come because it gives you more screen time because otherwise you ain't got shit to talk about. So Jackie's like, there's no way Jennifer's coming here. And then there's the doorbell rings. And that's where the episode leaves us. So I'm pretty sure Jennifer's going to... Well, she does show up. That's apparent. But, like, this was a good episode. I think we're seeing more of the other ladies. Ming, I find you to be a bit of an irritant and jealous. Very jealous. before I forget, there was some shit that she said in the Sprinter van on the way up. Brittany was in the van with her. That's right. Because Brittany Renner pointed that shit out. I like Brittany Renner. I'm starting to like her even more. So they're talking about the whole her saying Brandee is cute thing. And I think it was Brittany that was like, well, what's wrong with her saying is cute? But like, that's so obvious. That's like saying her pants are green. Like, we know they're green. We don't need to point it out. So Brittany in the van is like, oh, you're very territorial. So in her confessional, she was like, she's really territorial. Like, it's not okay for someone to say Ty is attractive. I'm with you, Brittany. I don't know. Ming, you rub me the wrong way. Ty, you ain't shit, girl. You doing too much. It seems like you play with the girls. You like to get fought over. Anyway, it was a good episode. Interesting episode. Very good. And next week is when Jennifer and Christian get married. And yeah, it's going to go down. All right. Happy Tuesday. And drink lots of water, y'all.